Tonight I'm reviewing American Samurai. It's a 1992 martial arts film starring David Bradley and Mark Dacascos as two brothers. Bradley plays the adopted one, Drew, who was raised by a Japanese man after his parents were killed in a plane crash. The Japanese dad, is played by John Fagoya, who also plays Michael Dudikoff's adopted father in the American Ninja movies. The he has a similar role in here as his adopted father, but in this one he trains his adopted son to be a samurai instead of a ninja. And when his adopted son Drew grows up to be a samurai, he is given the family heirloom sword, and his jealous older brother, played by Mark Dacascos in his film debut, but, but angrily joins the Japanese mafia called Yakuza. And when Drew grows up to become a newspaper journalist, and together him and a female photographer who also works for the same newspaper, Janet, they go to Turkey to investigate a murder. When while there, they get into a fight with some thugs, and then the thugs tell them where Kenjiro is, and they are kidnapped and sent to this gladiator place called Live Blade, where one by one Drew and Kenjiro fight opponents until they're the only ones left, and then they have their final showdown. The this is a good action movie. It was fun, although it was a bit corny and cheesy because of the low budget and the silly dialogue in the script. But it was all right. I enjoyed the film as a kid, and I enjoyed it today. It's one of the few fond memories I have of my stepdad. He was a he wasn't good, and this is the action scenes in this movie are pretty cool. The sword fights are cool. That's why I watched the movie, because on the video cover there was David Bradley holding a samurai sword, and I love sword fights, and and the the action is pretty good. And today I had a double feature where I watched it on YouTube again after quite a while. The I watched two versions one that I didn't know existed until I heard somebody else mention it in a review. The director's cut by Sam Feinberg is on Sam Feinberg's YouTube channel, and in the director's cut, the opening credits are different. The Some of the scenes in the theatrical cut, like the love scene between Drew and Janet in the hotel, is cut out, and I watched the theatrical cut of the director's cut. Well, anyway, also the showdown between Drew and Kenjiro is way shorter than in the theatrical cut. In the theatrical cut, when they have their showdown, it's basically like a bunch of clips from their previous fight scenes edited together to make it look like they're fighting each other, which is pretty lame. But I didn't notice that at the time until I looked up information about it. But well, it wasn't pretty lame. It was okay editing. And there's also a scene with a gladiator who dressed up like Conan, who gets killed. That was kind of funny. And there's the love scene between Drew and Janet that's in the theatrical version. I mean, when I watched the theatrical version, I noticed how they don't really show their faces. You just hear them talking off screen, and then they roll around making love in the bed, and you can tell it was probably just body doubles, and that was probably a scene that Feinberg didn't want, but the studio wanted to put in there. And I don't know, this is an okay movie. I give it 6 stars on IMDb and a thumbs up on here. Alright, that's my review. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe for more great content. Thank you, bye.